Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How you guys doing? My name is Versco, and today we're going to be discussing Gray Zone Warfare. I'm going to pose the question: has Gray Zone Warfare shifted from being an extraction shooter and into a more of MMOFPS after the new Winds of War update? This update came out more than a month ago, and I've been playing it a little bit, and I've been having my thoughts and my opinions, and I wanted to post this video and talk about them. So let's talk about and discuss, has Gray Zone Warfare shifted its extraction shooter motto from that to more of an MMOFPS? Let's see and let's find out. So a little bit about me before diving into the whole topic. I have been playing a lot of FPS shooters in the past, and currently I've been playing a lot of Armor Reforger and playing Hunt Showdown as my two main FPS games before diving into Gray Zone Warfare. I am a newbie to Gray Zone Warfare. I've only played for about 2 weeks now. Got about maybe 30-40 hours onto the game. And I got a couple of thoughts and opinions. I did play after the update, so I did not play before the update. Now, I do have a little bit of the extraction shooter history with Hunt Showdown being an extraction shooter. And I also have that tactical military sim background with Armor Reforger. Now, I may have not played Gray Zone Warfare before the Winds of War update, but I have talked to a bunch of people that I've played in-game and people that have joined my stream and talked about their experiences before the Winds of War update. So I kind of wanted to just briefly talk about that since it's going to be a big change after the Winds of War update. The main part that we're going to be looking at before the update was how we accepted tasks from vendors and then how we accept tasks now from vendors. Before the update, you had to accept a task at the main base, go out into the actual open world map, complete your tasks, and then you would have to extract back into the main base to complete it, and then pick up your new tasks, and then so on and so forth. With the new update, that is all eliminated. You do not need to go back to the main base. You could just keep accepting tasks as you're out in the open world. You could accept tasks, complete tasks, and if you need to complete a task where you have to bring, let's say, an item or something back to the main base, you could also use a cop as a means for that, or a safe house, like how I like to call it. Now, Gray Zone Warfare was titled, and a lot of people did mention the Gray Zone Warfare was an extraction-based shooter, so I did not play it as much because I didn't really want to get into it, because I really didn't get into Escape from Tarkov, and I kind of compared the two, not knowing really what Gray Zone Warfare was, so it really pushed me away from playing Gray Zone Warfare when it first came out. But now, after the new update, I was like, you know what, why not? Let's give it a chance, let's play it, and let's see what has changed. Maybe it's more fun and more friendly for newcomers to play, because I didn't really have a positive experience when jumping into Tarkov, because of how everything was really complicated and you really had to dive in and learn a lot with Escape from Tarkov. That's why I didn't really play it when the first when the early access came out for Gray Zone Warfare about a year ago now. Now, going back to discussing the after the update of Winds of War, we're going to talk a little bit about the combat outposts and kind of how they influence the whole transition from being called an extraction shooter versus now more or less like an MMOFPS type of shooter. With Combat Outpost having the new update where you could go and use the Combat Outpost and actually use your stash at a Combat Outpost, it really does change the fact that, hey, you don't really need to go and extract anymore, especially when you could use a Combat Outpost to finish your tasks if need be, depending on what kind of task you use. And you could just use the Combat Outpost to actually use your stash and re-up on your ammunition or gear, whatever you need. So it kind of eliminates the fact that, hey, Gray Zone Warfare isn't really an extraction shooter much, but it's more or less like an MMO FPS shooter. Now, before the update, combat outposts weren't really the same. You would have to finish your mission or whatever task you had to do, and you would have to go back to the main base and obviously re-gear up that way and actually go and finish your task that way and go and pick up tasks by being at the main base, therefore making Gray Zone Warfare more of an extraction-based shooter before the update, because you did have to go back to the main base and extract technically from wherever you were at to go and resupply, grab another task, whatever you're trying to do, and go back out to the actual map and go do whatever you want to do. Therefore, this game is kind of transitioned over from being that whole extraction shooter based game, and now it's more of an MMOFPS. Whether or not people are going to like that, I think personally, as a newbie that just joined the game, this update is very good and very beneficial for the community, and it shouldn't be based off of what people think the game is, like an extraction shooter or even an MMOFPS. Whatever the developers decide they want to do with the game, I think it should be based off of that. It shouldn't be put like automatically a label like, hey, this is a MMO FPS or it's an extraction shooter. It should just be one of a kind and really stick out and shine by whatever the devs add into the game. Even now with people talking about how Gray Zone Warfare is considered an MMO FPS, I started looking at the numbers and asking people, hey, how many people are really inside the actual server itself when you're playing? And it goes to show there's only about 48 people throughout the whole map. So the 3 factions are split, 48 people total. So you got 16 per team. Is that really considered an MMO amount of people, a massive multiplayer online amount of people? How many people would you need in a server for it to be considered a massive multiplayer online FPS experience? I don't even know if it's really necessarily that as well. It's kind of like in its own niche currently with the update that just came out. I don't really think it's an 100% an extraction shooter, and I don't really think it's 100% an MMO FPS shooter altogether because of the server size and the amount of people that are in it. It's kind of in that middle ground. It's trying to find its identity, which is good because it's in the alpha stages of the game. It's early access, so everyone is kind of learning as they go with the updates and what the devs are doing, which is very positive, and I like that. It shouldn't, we shouldn't just put a label on the game and hope that the devs are just going to go and update it towards that type of label. It should really be, hey, we added this update, we want to know your feedback, and then proceed forward whether or not the update is positive, negative, and just to keep advancing the game and whatever ideas the devs have for the game. Now since we are talking about the MMOFPS possibly being more or less what Gray Zone Warfare is going towards, I kind of just jumped on Steam charts and looked at the player count for the game. And right now I'm looking at it, it's around 3,000 players online. It's nothing crazy big and it's nothing crazy small. Yeah, it's maybe on the lower end, to be considered an MMO, but because it's it's an alpha stages, early access, it's normal. People aren't going to be always playing this game because it's in the early stages. They may not like it. They might not see that they, they're whatever they think about the game. They might not just want to play it, just like I did when I didn't play it a year ago. But it's been going up after the new update. People have been coming back and checking it out, which is good. And as a newbie coming in and really seeing the environment and the map and how much was put into this map, how crazy good it looks. Yeah, the graphics are a little bit buggy for me at times, especially for the distance, kind of a little grainy. I still got to do some tweaks with my settings, but in all, the graphics look amazing. The weather changes with the new update has been really, really good, and even the gunplay in the game is phenomenal. I like it a lot. It's beautiful. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of got that mixture with like the Tarkov gunplay mechanics, but also has that like open world environment like an Arma or Forger where everything is just open, free, go at your own will and go have some fun. And to end it all, I'd like to say my opinion on this, whether or not this is kind of like an extraction shooter, an open world MMO FPS type of shooter. In my opinion, the game is doing really good for a newbie aspect. I could get into the game and I could relatively learn everything with ease, and people are very friendly. Community's awesome. People are always willing to help, which is always great with a game like this that can be complex at times. And it's very fun with people. People will go out and help you out, and they'll team up with you, do your tasks with you, and guide you through everything, especially people that have been playing since the beginning. But whether or not this is a extraction shooter and MMO FPS, I really think it's kind of going away from the extraction shooter aspect, and it's focusing on the MMO FPS aspect, but it's not really there yet with the MMO FPS aspect, because I just don't feel like there's enough players to constitute that it's a massive multiplayer online experience at that point. It's kind of still developing. It's in its own niche right now. It's kind of developing. And whether or not it even goes to become an MMOFPS, we'll just have to see when the devs keep pumping out different updates and how this game truly changes. So with that being said, I would like to know your thoughts and opinions. Please let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.